Hello. I just want to put a disclaimer that there will be spoilers for Across the Spider-Verse and The Flash in this video. You probably don't care. I'm just gonna put it on the air anyways. Also, this video is incredibly not scripted, so it's pretty bad. Alright, that's all.
Hello, I'm Dave Makes Vids. Right now, I'm I'm just outside Paris. I don't exactly know the name of the place. Just it's kind of the countryside. It's 10:09 p.m. over here. Might not look like it though. I'm out here right now with a bottle of water, a bowl of cereal, my little notepad to talk about. You guessed it, The Flash. Not just Flash. I'll also be talking about that new Spider-Verse movie, because these are both like the heavy hitters of June, and they also connect in a way that I haven't really been seeing anyone talk about. But first, I want to talk about Spider-Verse, since that's the one everyone is primarily talking about, even though The Flash like just came out. Animation of the movie, it was really good. It's probably, I don't think I'd be too crazy to say that this is one of the best anime movies of all time. It might even be the best anime movie of all time. I think like the only thing that would beat it that can come to mind is like Akira. I'm not very cultured in animation, but it's pretty damn good. Um, yeah. So that whole sequence where Miles is fighting or is escaping from the Spider Society, that took 4 years alone to animate that sequence, which is insane. I don't know if you guys can hear that motorcycle; it's pretty fucking loud. The Spider Punk character, Hobie, I think that either took 2 years or 4 years to animate, just that character alone, because of all the styles. And so that's why I don't think a sequel is going to be releasing next year, because I don't know how they're going to do it. Haley Steinfeld also said that she hasn't recorded any new lines for the sequel, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, the animation alone like ranks this movie pretty high up, but it's also got a pretty good story. This movie at times, even though it has a lot to do with multiversal situations, it also kind of tones itself down. And a lot of people didn't like. I saw a bunch of people online saying like they didn't like how slow it was at the beginning, but I think that was like some of my favorite parts of the movie. I think like all these multiversal stories that are happening now, that Marvel's doing, that DC's doing, they're kind of boring. Because I really like this character of Miles Morales, and I don't want to keep him trapped in the Spider-Verse stories. I really like seeing him, just doing his daily routine. And so I think the first half of the movie was needed. It wasn't even the first half. It was like 1/6. But I liked it a lot. Um, I like it. I like it when people feel more human. I like it when things are well written and not just fan service. I know that's an unpopular opinion nowadays, but I don't know. It's a great movie. I still think the thing is, this movie is just so big, which I understand. That's why there's a part two beyond the Spider-Verse coming out. So that was a really good decision, because this movie is quite big and it doesn't feel as neatly, you know, tied in compared to the first Spider-Verse movie, Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. And also, that one just had a lot more emotional impacts compared to this one. I think there's a lot of things that each movie does better than the other. I would have to say, like, even though the first movie builds up Miles, I think the second movie really establishes him as his own character. I think it just really shows off his, I guess, like badassery. But I still think the first one is better, because again, and because this is a part two. This is a part one of part two. The Across the Spider-Verse is part one. Sorry, wait. Part one, even though it has its moments, it's more of like placing the stepping stones for part 2. So, honestly, I think part 2 will be the best one, unless they fuck it up somehow. But for now, these two, I think Into the Spider-Verse better than Across the Spider-Verse. I'm going to talk about The Flash now. I was actually pretty excited for this movie, which is a very unpopular opinion. I know. I feel like a lot of people were excited for this movie. The very small percentage were excited for this movie because of Michael Keaton's Batman. I've never seen those movies, so I didn't care for it at all. I also thought it was funny that Michael Keaton was in the movie at all, because there's a movie he made called Birdman, basically like talking shit about Batman like the entire movie, because Michael Keaton couldn't find any work for a while because everyone just saw him as Batman. And so I just think it's funny he came back for some reason. I don't know why he did, but I was excited for this movie. You know, it got delayed. I think this movie was supposed to come out in like 2018 originally. This movie has been like in the making for decades. If you've known the history about it, like they've been trying to make a Flash movie since the 1990s. It's pretty insane that it took this long. And I think like, I don't know, they changed 5 directors for this one movie. It was, I'm gonna take a bite of my cereal. It's really nice out here. So I'm very excited for this movie. I didn't see it opening day, but I did see it like a few days after. Only reason I wasn't able to, otherwise I would have. The only reason I wasn't able to is because I've been here. So I did see like a ton of spoilers about the movie, and I'll get into the controversy that's not related to Ezra Miller later. But if I had to say, I think this movie, I think it's pretty good. I wouldn't say pretty good. I think it's good. I think it's a good movie. I don't know why people feel the need to talk shit about it when they haven't seen it, or people will watch it on like some fucking pirate website, and then like I don't think it really counts. And I think these people are just not giving this movie the credit it deserves. I think Andy Muschietti, I don't know if I pronounced his last name right, the director of this movie, I think he did a very good job. So first, let me talk about the story. So I think the main thing that is holding the story back for this movie was because now that James Gunn has taken over of the DC Studios, he's gonna like reset the entire thing. I'm gonna call it the DCU. I think it's called the DCEU. I don't know what the E stands for, so I'm just gonna call it I'm gonna call it the DCCU, DC Cinematic Universe, whatever. Actually, no, I'm just gonna call it DCU. Fuck it. Point is, so James Gunn, a few months ago, announced that he's gonna be taking over. He's gonna be fully resetting everything, and the Flash. Oh shit. Oh, I have 2 pens in here. Sorry. The Flash will be the last. No, because there's still the Aquaman movie coming out this December. I completely forgot about it. Either way, so the Flash is pretty much the last like movie of this like franchise that was just the fucking worst. The only actually good movie was The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, and that was it. So this Flash movie serves to end the entire franchise, and I think that's the biggest thing holding it back, because I'm going to talk spoilers, but if you've seen the trailers, you know that Zod comes back because Flash creates an alternate reality where Superman isn't there. So Flash has to gather Batman and Supergirl to go fight Zod. And I just think it was the weakest part of the movie. I think the most interesting part is seeing these 2 Barrys, since the Flash, Barry Allen, he goes back in time to stop his mother from being killed, thus creating an alternate reality. And so now there are two Barrys. There's the one that grew up with his mom, and then there's our Barry. Now, people have already said this online, but the Flash in the Justice League movies kind of served as a comedic, like, side character, kind of. And so what they did is in this movie they gave him a more obnoxious version of himself. So it helps him realize how obnoxious he actually is, allows him to grow as a better person. And also, he serves as like a mentor figure. And so I think that was really smart. And just seeing these two interact with each other throughout the entire movie is probably the most entertaining thing. Like, the first half of the movie is some of the most, I think it's really good. It's like a solid 8.5 out of 10. But then you see Michael Keaton's Batman, you see Supergirl, you see Zod, and it's just the second half of the movie just turns into this mindless CGI fight. And I mean, there's some cool stuff, but I really don't care. The drama where Barry has to face even though it's gonna cause Barry having to face the consequences of his actions is so much more entertaining than some fucking CGI Superman bullshit. Like, I don't care. I mean, it's okay. The second half kind of brings it down a lot for me. After the story, there is the CGI, which a lot of people have been complaining about. And you know what? I can completely understand why people are complaining about the CGI. It's not good. It's really not good. There's just no... People are saying it's Spy Kid CGI. I wouldn't say that. I think people are... Jesus Christ, there's a stupid mosquito. There's, just people are so quick to judge, and, I mean, I don't know. It's not that bad. I mean, yes, it's bad. It's not... Jesus Christ. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. It's just... It's not great. Okay? Like, with the stuff we've seen... It's probably the... People are comparing it to, like, Scorpion King. Yeah, I'm sure if you've been on the internet, you've seen that one thing with The Rock as he turns into a giant scorpion. It's not that bad. It's incredibly okay. It's incredibly decent. It gets the job done, you know. But there is one part of the CGI that a lot of people have been complaining about, and that's, now again, huge spoiler, but at one point, because this is supposed to end the whole DCEU, they have like a whole montage sequence where they feature they deep fake dead actors, like Christopher Reeve's Superman, he's in the movie. Adam West's Batman, he was in the movie. They even got Nick Cage as Superman, which not many people know about. Nick Cage was supposed to play Superman. And so that CGI kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie, that did suck, and I don't know why they had it in the movie. They could have had literally anything else. So it was kind of stupid. So I can understand why people are complaining about that. Well, people are complaining about it because the whole moral thing, saying, oh, you can't CGI dead actors, which, I mean, an argument can be made on both sides. It's probably a horrible thing for me to say, but I mean, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Nah, it is kind of a shitty thing to do, actually. But, you know, I did soy jack when they did have Adam West Batman, so they kind of got me there. Sorry to say. What else? So yeah, CGI, decent. I can understand why people are complaining a bit. I can understand when people have complaints with it, but people are just saying it's the worst thing ever. And apart from the CGI, the movie doesn't even look bad either. Like, directing-wise, camera-wise, it doesn't even look bad either. It's better than most fucking Marvel movies. This movie has color, okay? A bunch of Marvel movies are these great pieces of shit schlop. And, I mean, this movie isn't that. So I think people need to fucking stop riding its dick or whatever. there's one thing about the CGI that was pretty cool. So in this movie, there's 2 Barry Allens, meaning there are 2 Ezra Millers. And I thought that was pretty cool. I think they did a pretty good job with making 2 different Ezra Millers in the same scene. So good on them for that. That's all I have to say for it. Acting wise, I think this movie, I think it's there weren't I didn't think there were any bad deliveries. Especially in the final sequence. In the final sequence, there's this extremely emotional scene, and Ezra Miller does a really fantastic job on it. And I didn't think there was any bad acting in this movie. I mean, there were some awkward deliveries with Michael Keaton's Batman, like the whole "let's get nuts," so like soy jacks can coom in their pants. As I watched that movie, that didn't get me though, because again, I don't actually no, because I did, yeah, never mind. But I mean, the acting, it wasn't anything extraordinary, but I mean, it wasn't bad. If anyone tells you the acting's bad, they're just fucking lying. Oh. Now, for the future of these movies, I mean, so they talked about, Andy Muschietti said that they're going to, if they do make a second Flash movie, if I turn the brightness up, will that light my face up a little bit? So he talked about, sorry, someone just like yelled. He talked about that if they make a sequel to this movie, they'll talk about Reverse Flash. I don't think a sequel's, actually no, a sequel might happen. This movie is not doing well at the box office at all. Even Black Adam did better. But James Gunn really likes this movie, apparently. So much so that Andy Muschietti will be directing the new Batman movie. Not the Batman. Matt Reeves is still directing. Basically, with this whole new DC reset, they're still going to have the Batman directed by Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson with it. So there's going to be that. That's going to be its own little thing. But there's also going to be another Batman in the DC franchise. And that's, I think it's called Batman Brave and the Bold. And that's going to be directed by Andy Muschietti. And you know what? I'm pretty excited for that. I think this guy directed both of the It movies, but I think he gets comics. I think he gets it. I think he's going to do a good job on it. So, but I'm just saying, because I think James Gunn really likes this guy's work, apparently. So I would not be surprised if they announce a sequel to this movie, even though it's performing terribly at the box office. Actually, no. Because there's a whole Ezra Miller controversy, and like I don't really know what's going on with that guy. I hope they are doing well, or whatever. I really liked Ezra Miller's performance in this movie. I think I already said that. I liked it a lot. I think they do a pretty good job, and it kind of makes me sad that Ezra Miller might not be the Flash anymore. Because I wasn't really sold on Ezra in the Justice League, but I think standalone, they do a pretty good job. So, now I'm going to talk about why these 2 movies are kind of... Oh, yeah. Across the Spider-Verse, I give that like a 9 out of 10. The Flash, I give that a 7 out of 10, mainly because I hate they did what they did with the second half, but I don't hate the second half. I just would have preferred if it was more grounded, and it didn't have to fucking carry the weight of the entire DC franchise. Again, I think it's stupid. Either way. Okay. I'm going to start from the top. Alright, so I just moved. because it was getting dark out, and also a bunch of bugs were starting to get on me, and I hate bugs. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about how these two movies connect. These two movies came out in June, biggest movies of June. And so basically, they both ask the trolley problem. Now, if you're not intellectual like me, you probably don't know what the trolley problem is. Basically, there's a trolley, right? It's about to go on these two tracks. There's a left track and a right track. On the left track, there's 4 random people. On the right track, there's like a loved one that you know. So you get to control which person dies. Now, fun fact, a friend of mine has this brother, and for his college application, he just talked about how he would just kill himself, which is awesome. Super cool. But basically both these movies deal with the trolley problem, and both have different answers. So for Spider-Verse, Miles chooses that fuck all those people, you know, my loved one should get to live, you know, because of Miguel. Spider-Man 2099 describes these canon events and like how people are supposed to die in these canon events. Also, I think canon events are bullshit. Like, I think, one, I don't like them because it basically means that Spider-Man, every Spider person goes through the same thing, so there's nothing unique about them. That's the way I see it. And also, and so they talk about how Miles is an anomaly in the movie, right? But the thing is, because of Miles, Peter Parker now is a child. He says that. So, wouldn't that make her an anomaly as well? And I mean, there's just loads of other things. And so I just think they're going to reveal in the next movie that canon events are bullshit. I don't think they're real. So that's why I think Miles won't face as much as of a consequence. Miles gets to have his cake and eat it too, basically. But in the Flash movie, Flash chooses to save the 4 random people, or should I say the entire fucking thread of reality, and let his mom die, which I don't know, I think it was very well done when he did it. So yeah, I mean, God, the whole reason I made this video is because I've been intending to work on something, but I haven't had the motivation to do it. So I just thought, hey, if I work on this, maybe I'll get the wheel going. So, yeah. So yeah, those are the 2 connections between the movie. I hope you liked my review. To the same 3 people who watch my videos, thank you. Now, will there be more videos in the future? Peut-être. Perchance. You know, if I get more than 5 views on this video, I'll rank every Spider-Man movie ever. Maybe not ever. All the everything that's after the Tobey Maguire movies, I'll rate those. I'm not gonna rate some fucking obscure 1960s movie, but you get it. So yeah, that's all. Should I even put this video out?